Hi guys, today I'm going to be making some fish cakes. It's one of our family favourites. I'm going to be using tin tuna. You could make this recipe with tin salmon, or if you've got any cooked white fish you could also use that. So first of all I'm going to go through the ingredients that we're going to need to make the fish cakes. I'm going to be freezing some of the fish cakes and also cooking them. So at the end of the video I will show you how to freeze them for later use and also how to cook them. So let's get started. Okay, so the ingredients that we require, we need some potatoes which we're going to peel, and then we're going to cut those into even sized pieces. We're going to need some tin tuna or salmon or white fish like I mentioned. I'm going to drain that off. We're going to use celery which we're going to saute after we've chopped it into pieces. We're going to use an egg yolk to bind all the ingredients together. I'm going to put a bit of garlic in with potatoes to give it some extra flavour. Also some lemon juice for flavour and lovely coriander. I really love the flavour of coriander. I'm going to use coriander as well. Some salt and pepper. Then to coat the fish cakes I'm going to put cornflour on the outside. You could use breadcrumbs if you prefer, but I really like the taste of cornflour on these fish cakes. I'm also going to have some oil and some butter to saute the fish cakes once they're made. So let's get started. Okay, so we start by peeling the potatoes and cutting those up into equal portions. Potatoes are going to take around about 40 minutes to cook, and while they're cooking we can get all the other ingredients ready so we can put it all together in a bowl and make the fish cakes. Okay, so I've peeled the potatoes and I've put them into a pot. I've covered the potatoes with water. I've made sure the potatoes are completely covered. I've put in some salt and pepper into the potatoes. They're now on to boil. I'm going to wait until they're soft. I'm going to check them with a knife, and then after that we're going to smash the potatoes into mash. I'm adding in some garlic paste. It's entirely up to you whether you want garlic in it or not. I'm just adding it in for an extra bit of vavoom. So you just put that in boiling water, stir it around, and that will make your potatoes a yummy, yummy flavour. Okay, so potatoes are cooked now. You can check this by putting in the knife, and if they're soft then they're done. Now we're going to drain them off. I'm just draining them into a colander. Then I'm going to put them back into the pot, put them back on the heat just to make sure we've got all the excess liquid off. Okay, so they're on the stove, they've just dried off a bit more, and then you just mash them with your potato masher. Adding in some butter, flavour, and then you just mash them up. The young stalks of the celery won't have much stringy bits because they're the younger part of the plant. But to peel it, you just go from the top and then just peel it back, and you get these stringy bits which you don't want in your cooking because it makes it quite tough. So you just pull those back and off like that, and that will get rid of all the stringy bits. Mostly gone now. You go down the lines of the celery plant, and that's the stringy bit which you don't want. Then you take the stalk, the celery sticks, and cut down along the lines, just roughly. And do the same with the younger shoots. You want to make nice fine dice. You're not getting big chunks of celery in the fish cake. all together and chop it nice and fine. So these nice fine dice, which we're just going to saute off in a pan with a bit of butter just to make it soft to go inside the fish cakes. There we have it, some nice small diced up celery. So into the frying pan I'm going to add some butter for flavour and just a bit of oil to make sure that the butter doesn't burn. The oil has a higher flash point so it doesn't burn quickly, whereas butter has a very low flash point so it burns very quickly. So I mix the two together to give the flavour, but also to ensure that the celery is not going to burn. Okay, so the oil and the butter is now heated up. You can see it starting to bubble away there, and then we're just going to add in the celery, nice fine dice, and just heat that through until it's softened so we can add it to the fish cakes. Okay, so the celery's been cooking for around about 5 minutes now. Well, it's nice and soft, squidgy. So I'm going to take this off the pan and let it I'm going to take this off the heat and let it cool down. You need to drain off the liquid from the tuna. Get the nice fresh coriander and chop it up. Okay, so the potatoes have cooled, so I'm going to put everything into this bowl now to put it all together. I'm going to put the potatoes in the bowl. Celery, just nicely sauteed off. Chopped coriander. Tuna fish. Add in the juice of lemon. Not too much, you don't want to make the mixture too sloppy, it should be as dry as possible. Juice in and then give it a good mix around so that everything incorporates. That's thoroughly mixed in now. Separate out the egg. Take the egg, crack it that way, and then just transfer it from one to the other. There you have it, no white. We add the egg yolk, the binding agent, and mix that through. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the fridge and let it completely cool down before I make them into the fish cakes. Mixture has been left in the fridge to cool. It's nice and cold now. I'm taking the cornflour and I'm dusting the surface. The cornflour is going to be the coating for the fish cakes. So you just take a handful, make sure you've got clean hands, roll it into a ball. Make them about the same size as you can. You could use a ice cream scoop if you prefer, depends on what size you want them. Cold now, so it's nice and easy to handle. And then you just take them and you just roll them in the cornflour. And I'm going to be freezing these, so I'm going to freeze them on a tray. You want to coat both sides because that's going to go into the frying pan when you're eventually going to cook them. The coating will be the cornflour. If you wanted to, you could do them in an egg wash and breadcrumb them if you prefer to have them breadcrumb, but these are really nice like this. You don't have to be breadcrumbed. Really tasty. I dusted the surface with a lot of corn flour so that it stops them all from sticking. Okay, so they're all done now. I'm going to be putting them on a tray. I'm going to put some greaseproof paper on top of the tray. This stops them from sticking. Makes it really easy to take them off after they've been frozen. So then I just place them on the greaseproof paper. Then I put them in the freezer, leave them overnight, and then tomorrow I'll be putting them into some Ziploc bags. I'm going to need another tray for the last lot, but then they'll just go straight into the freezer like that until tomorrow. Okay, so it's been 24 hours now and they are frozen, and I'm now taking them out of the freezer and I'm putting them into a Ziploc bag. See? Nice and hard. Look. And then to cook them, you cook them from frozen in a frying pan and you shallow fry them. And now they can go back in the freezer for use when I need to use them. Okay, so the fish cakes are in the frying pan now and they're almost cooked. Just need to be shallow fried on both sides. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my channel or give me a thumbs up, and please leave your comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye for now.